Yes, you can become a millionaire for 53 cents. Hey, everybody, JJ here. Today we're going to talk about the decline of the dollar, and we're going to look at what happened to the dollar in Venezuela, the bolivar, and how it's continuing to get worse, and how this could spiral out of control even with the US dollar. It is Sunday, March 7th, 2021. Thank you for joining me. We're going to talk about this. We've got some other news to get into. We're going to talk about the stimulus. Also, what's happening with so many unemployed people here in the United States and what type of inflation we might expect here in the United States. Or will it be deflation? Well, let's get into the information. All right, first of all, we're going to save this till the end or towards the end. We're going to have a little bit of a channel update. So please keep on listening to get that information at the end. All right, now Venezuela, I feel really sorry for these people. Here in the United States, I think so many of us don't realize how lucky we are. And it's no accomplishment by us here, the people, that we have the world's reserve currency. It's just the way it's been for so long. And a lot of people that were just born into this system, this dollar currency, our reserve currency here, just kind of take it for granted. And we can print so much of this dollar now because it is the world's reserve currency that we don't face the risks like so many other countries do and have suffered from now if you look at Venezuela. So you could be a millionaire in Venezuela for 50 cents. And I'm just going to read an excerpt out of this article. This is out of the Post. All it takes to be a millionaire in Venezuela is a few American pennies. The South American country's economy is so bad, they're introducing $1 million or a million bolivar note worth roughly 53 cents. The central bank came out and said that the country will also be printing 200,000, 500,000, and $1 million bolivar bills. The move comes as hyperinflation has made smaller bills worthless, and most citizens are turning to the US dollar for everyday transaction. And right now, about 66% of transactions conducted in Venezuela are conducted in the US dollar. So here is my take on it. The US dollar, one of the reasons it has remained strong, not only because it's the reserve currency, but also because so many other countries are hyperinflating their currency, and because they don't have the luxury of their currency being the world reserve currency that they can print here in the United States, we have the unlimited printing press. All right, other countries also have the unlimited printing press, but because we've been the world reserve currency and we're such a, not just a large country, but we're still the world's largest economy when it comes to our consumerism, that we reap the benefits of still maintaining some purchasing power. But even with that, we do still have some pretty bad inflation here. Even though the Fed is not going to tell you that, our inflation is really bad. Now let's take a look at a chart that's going to lay down how long the dollar has been declining and how much value we've lost here in this dollar. Right now, this starts off over 100 years ago in 1900, and we see it only goes up to 2000, but you don't need to go up to 2020 to get the picture. You can plainly look at it right here, and you know from 2000 to 2021, where we're at today, we only continue to see the dollar being more worthless and prices skyrocketing. So as you can see right here, we are well over a 90% drop. So it starts off at $25 here. So we go to $12.50, that would be right here. That would be a 50% drop. It takes us to about the end of World War II. But then we go up here to the early 70s, 1971, when the dollar was completely detached from gold as a reserve. You can see the dollar continuing to basically crash or decline. And here we are today in 2021 with most people under some sort of debt. Most people have no idea that this long ago, the dollar was worth so much more. And if you just go back 30 or 40 years, most people were not in debt. Credit cards became pretty common in the 80s, from what I understand, in the 90s, when people really started cranking up the credit card use. And it just continues. And when you see the unlimited printing press behind the scenes, it's no surprise. And a lot of people would have not even predicted the dollar to last this long. There's some well-known economists, mainstream economists, that predicted hyperinflation to ensue here in the United States. They even predicted that after the financial crisis, when they saw all the money created to try to quote unquote fight the crisis and bail out the banks. And now we see just many times more bailouts and money printing and rescue packages that make 2008 look like a Sunday picnic. All right, so now let's move along here. Let's talk about the impact that so many people are feeling from this quote unquote economic recovery. And it's really not a recovery. The manipulated numbers make it look like a recovery. But here's an NPR article: Why Us, a year after being laid off, millions are still unemployed. And here's the thing, as most of you probably know by now, long-term unemployed people are not counted in the official unemployment number. That's why you continue to see the dropping unemployment number that's put out there on the mainstream news, but yet you know that 100 million plus people are now out of the labor force, not part of the U.S. labor force. Story out of this article: janitor Gloria Espinoza still vividly remembers the moment she was laid off last year. A supervisor gathered her and her colleagues at the parking lot of the office where she worked in San Francisco and then broke the news to them. She thought, quote, "God, why us?" unquote. It was like receiving a bucket of cold water. According to a monthly jobs report released on Friday, more than 4 million people had been unemployed for 6 months or more, and that is a surge of 3 million over the past year. And the sad part is, and the scary part is, that it's all hidden. So people really, unless they do some digging or investigating or watching alternative media channels like this one, most people really have no idea what is really happening, that there actually is no economic recovery, that so many of the jobs that we lost are never coming back. Manufacturing is not coming back, even though that's what was supposed to have been the plan over the past 4 years. But we look back and we see the last 4 years were one of the biggest failures in U.S. history when it comes to the financial system and the economy, how the rich gained more wealth over the past 4 years than any other 4 year period in history. So while on one hand, a lot of people say, well, it doesn't matter, who sits in the White House. Um, it can go from bad to worse. And I'm not sure if it can get much worse than what we saw over the past 4 years. A few people did benefit from it. If you know the system, if you know the game, you can benefit from it. And that's one of the themes we try to look at here. But overall, as a country, we are going downhill fast, almost as fast as the declining value of the US dollar and its purchasing power. So, how this unfolds, it's anyone's guess. There's a million people with a million different views on what's going to happen, a million different predictions or theories. And I think the time is coming closer, and we're going to continue to keep a very close eye on things, and we're going to continue to see signs that things are falling apart behind the scenes. We saw some big problems with the Fed here just in the past week. And I think other surprises, big surprises, are right around the corner. So let's be prepared. Let's continue to watch and analyze the situation. Thanks everybody for being here. A quick channel update before we wrap up this video. I had been uploading these videos to different platforms. I actually quit doing that, and I'm mentioning this because some people were asking, hey, why aren't you uploading over here, over there? Here is the thing. It did take up a lot of time, and some of these other platforms you upload and it just takes forever, and I was spending more time uploading than I was actually coming up with content and recording the video. So I said, okay, I'm just going to be exclusively on YouTube. YouTube does have some issues with all the rules and stuff like that, which is not fun, but still overall, YouTube is still the best place to be. It's the most efficient platform. It's still the most widely watched platform. So it's going to be exclusively YouTube as long as they allow me to be here. But thanks to the people that were commenting and asking about that, some actually people contacted me over at Twitter through direct messages. So that's what's going on with that. Thanks everybody for being here. Hope you have a good rest of the weekend here and a good week coming up. We'll talk to you very, very soon. We'll be putting out several reports this week as we try to do every week. So hopefully see you back again here very, very soon. Stay well, stay safe, stay prepared, everybody. Bye for now. Peace.